Despite his absence, the Klondike was nevertheless able to turn out a respectable harvest this season. While things were going smoothly in the Klondike, Parker noticed something that outsiders frequently overlook. The worst hazards in gold mine are the ones you don't see coming. This time, it's obvious that they're running out of ground. Parker Schnabel, a 27-year-old prospector, had his sights set on unrealized potential, the type of thing that no seasoned gold miner can ignore. Across the frigid valleys of Alaska, the name John Reeves reverberates like thunder among the mining circles where Parker met with him. Even though Reeves possesses a great deal of power, he owns more than 20,000 acres of historically rich terrain, from which 35% of Fairbanks gold was extracted. John was not giving anything away. When Parker tried to secure the ground, John was seeking more than just a handshake. This wasn't going to be a deal sealed over a bottle of whiskey, and Parker knew it. With that, he brought something better. With 100 ounces of cold, heavy, unmistakable gold worth $180,000, the stakes are sky high in terms of transactions. We're aiming for huge blocks of ground, but even gold has its limits, and Alaska isn't exactly a secret-revealing state. Conflict over potential mining sites. Parker has spent years crafting his legacy in the Klondike, proving himself to be one of the most successful and determined young miners in the business. However, he knows that timing is everything. If everything moves too soon, you spread your resources thin. If everything moves too late, everyone in the business knows you're desperate. Desperation is dangerous currency in mining at this point in the season. Parker is well aware of the fact that in the long run, the team is running out of good ground and to remain in the game, needs to discover more, since the land that formerly yielded tons of gold is about to dry up. This sense of urgency has. Alaska is not a place for the faint of heart, but when Parker lands there, he meets John Reeves, a man whose name is synonymous with the history of Fairbanks' gold rush. John has seen the ups and downs of gold mining, and his land isn't just any piece of territory. It's a well of potential gold. John owns a large tract of property, more than 20,000 acres, that has been in the gold mining industry for decades. However, the question of whether or not the area still has any more gold to be found lingers in the background. Although John and his family may have been wealthy in the past, the question remains, how much gold is actually available, and is it worthwhile to continue investing? John shares a significant historical artifact with Parker. This land was responsible for 35% of Fairbanks' gold output. He speaks with an air of calm confidence, recognizing the already mined gold while hinting at something deeper. This could be the chance he's been looking for, but he's also aware that access to such a valuable location won't be easy to come by. Because John is unwilling to sell this renowned piece of land, Parker will need to do more than simply make a bargain in order to convince him that he can bring out the land's full potential. The negotiation revolves around more than just gold. It also involves trust, strategy, and the timing of the deal. John is well cognizant of Parker's aspirations and the importance of the situation. In order to convince John that Parker is truly committed to the success of the operation, he offers a substantial advance payment. This shows that Parker is willing to bet on the land's potential, but if Parker fails to produce, the advance is useless. On the other hand, if he does, the deal could be a game changer. Parker is fully cognizant of the seriousness of the situation. By making this commitment, he is putting his future and his wealth on the land's capacity to produce. As John and Drew stand before her, Parker the confidant in nation of the landowner, there's no assurance that this property will provide the riches that Parker's mining firm needs, but he knows it may be here. Now that Parker has secured the deal with John, the real work begins. The pressure is on, and Parker must dig deeper, move faster, and make every moment count. There's no room for hesitation, especially with the clock ticking and the Klondike ground starting to show its age. Despite this, Parker remains hopeful, knowing that the true test of this gamble will only come once. As he starts to drill, he has no idea if the gold is actually there or not. His unwavering determination to test limits and take chances has distinguished him as a prominent person in the mining industry, irrespective of the result. Despite his extensive background and achievements, the inherent uncertainty in gold mining remains. As Parker embarks on his journey to his new mining site in Alaska, he is acutely conscious of the gravity of his decision. Not only has he acquired the land, but he has also embarked on a massive gamble, and the stakes are higher than they have ever been. This drives him to keep digging to uncover the secrets that lie beneath the surface. Parker is keenly aware that he is falling behind this season and is burdened by the weight of the delay and the urgency it brings. Despite this, he is driven forward by the opportunity in Alaska. This land, with its untapped potential, represents a critical step in ensuring the future of his mining empire. However, if the gold isn't there, he risks everything he has worked for. He hopes to accomplish 1,000 ounces here, but there's a lot of stripping to be done first, so in the meanwhile, the Klondike might become history and his larger objectives of creating a lasting legacy in gold mining could go. I've been hoarding old drift tailings, so I'm hoping there's a lot of gold in them. However, as a young miner, Parker isn't driven by a fear of failure. Rather, he believes that risks are necessary for growth. Despite the challenges and setbacks that may come his way, he remains focused on the potential that this new venture holds. Parker is as determined to accept this risk as he bets his future on the unknowable Alaska, knowing that it is an essential element of his trip that might either cement his position in mining history or teach him a terrible lesson. Post-Parker departure, Rick Ness, who had been Parker's foreman, finds himself in a similar precarious position. The first several seasons of Rick's solo operation were fraught with difficulties, but as the season continues, Rick is hell-bent on proving that he can succeed without Parker's financial support. Despite facing a smaller workforce and falling behind on his goals, Rick remains resolute and shows no signs of backing down. His story is about making do with what he has, in contrast to Parker, who has access to larger territory and a larger budget. Rick must depend on his cunning and resolve. His unwavering devotion to the mining industry is what drives him forward. Parker and Rick, two figures who symbolize the industry's potential, are on separate but complementary journeys into unexplored territory, where they will confront both the natural obstacles and the relentless pressure on Parker to achieve his goals. It's all about making sure he gets his share of the legacy that the veterans have already established. I began my life here, and my goal is to find better ground to mine for Rick. It's about him proving he can do it alone, but we both know that gold mining has an uncertain future. Will Parker find it rich in Alaska, or are the risks too great? The outcome is uncertain, but one thing is certain: this season the stakes are at an all-time high. The gold rush is more than just a dream, it's a risk that they are willing to accept.